everyone, welcome back to Pommy and Oz. Hope we're all doing well. We're smashing out subs and likes at the minute. So if you want to become a sub of the channel, just click that button. It's super simple. We're smashing them out. If we can get to 3K by the end of all of this, that would be grouse. You can go a step further and become a member of the channel. The link is in the description of that, and all my socials are in there. So if you've got any questions you want to follow, we do all sorts of things, and we're very engaging. So do that for me. Let me know what you think. And today what we're doing is, obviously, Will Ashcroft is the talk of the draft, but there is a lot of players that I think we may push him to that Rising Star nomination next year and take that out. So it's going to be tough, it has to be said, but there is some players, but also some players that I don't think are getting enough love. And I thought we'll talk about them a little bit, get to know them, know where they are in the draft, and do something a bit different. So let's do it. First guy, and it's obvious if you've been following me, Bailey Humphrey, a big favourite of mine, the Gippsland power boy. Guy can play mid and forward. And this kid here has got something about him. He can work very high up the ground. That modern day high half forward that we see that works so successfully in today's AFL game. 86 kegs and 184. He's had a pretty good year as well, particularly in the NAB League. Just under 20 touches, 2 goals a game, 7 scoring involvements. He's that modern-day attacking force. Something about this kid that I really enjoy. I've been a big fan of him. He's incredibly versatile. His ability to hit the score and bring his teammates in around the game is impressive. He's also fairly handy in them stoppage clearances, which a lot of the modern-day players have to be. He's got massive X factor, and someone that I can't wait to see play his trade in the AFL. Let's have a look at where he'll go. He'll go somewhere 5 to 10. And obviously the knocks on him at the moment are his kicking efficiency. But you see, this is again where I disagree with the AFL general consensus. The position he plays, that can be negated in a good system and improved on. We're very archaic in thinking that, these skills can't be refined. These are still very raw gem projects, hence why we have a lot of players taken outside the 20 that go on to play long, successful careers. I'm a huge advocate of Bailey, and I think that his negatives are far outweighed by the positives. Suns, I think he suits there in that 5 to 10 range. Essendon, I'd imagine that they were a shoo-in for Harry Sheasel until North split their picks. He could definitely be of interest to him. Will starters, though, draw their eye. Hawthorn would love him as well. Hawthorn would be a team that I think really could use some of this firepower, especially with Gunston, who, although plays a lot more forward than probably Bailey is kind of that conduit between the midfield and the next half. So someone that I am really, really looking forward to. And I think this kid here is a little bit special. Up next, then, we've got Cam Mackenzie from Sandy Dragons. Now, this kid here, for me, is one of the most complete midfielders in this draft. I don't get why he's not so high, but then I'm going to put this to you. He plays alongside Ashcroft at Sandy Dragons. But this kid here is highly, highly skillful and has a huge tick in every facet what you're looking for a midfielder. Incredibly athletic. He's incredible in close as well. Very skillful, very clean hands. Has a high footy IQ. And for me, the big thing for him as well is his ability to find hard and easy ball. Some of the knocks are, has he got the lightning pace to play outside like most players do? But we've also seen players go very early doors. And I think in the right system, with right quality coaching and players around him, Cam Mackenzie can run Will Ashcroft close. And you've got to remember, he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. He's going to have a chip on his shoulder, I think. And the big thing about Cam is he's probably got the largest depth of ability to hit kicks. He's got so many different kicks in his arsenal. His ability to really see that pass and nail it on a sixpence, probably one of the sharpest kicks in the draft, is impressive. His ability as well to control the tempo of the game is so key, and that is massive in today's AFL. Absolutely massive. Come in there as well with Will Ashcroft. He has really shone. And in the NAB League this year, 24 touches, 4 clearances, 7 score involvements, 4 tackles, really showing it. And he backed that up at the National Championships. And he's going to be someone that has got a good turn of pace, that is line breaking, bit of an engine on him as well. Good size as well, it has to be said. 80 kegs, 187. That is a nice little size for it. And I think this kid is a real gem, someone that I'm really looking forward to. He is tied to the Saints NGA. You've got to remember that. Obviously, bids can't be matched inside the 40. He'll go 5 to 10. He will be well off by that stage. Hawthorn, I think he is suited here. I see a lot of Sam Mitchell in this guy. A lot of Sam Mitchell. And I think Sam Mitchell, with the players he'd lost, he would love to replace with Cam. And I think he could really be a general in that midfield, really pull the strings, especially with his tempo effect, which is what Sam Mitchell was so good at. Obviously, he suits St Kilda. He's an inside mid. I think their entire list is screaming for an inside mid, a pure one. And watching him and Steely work together would be sick. Cowan would be the Smokies here. And I'm a huge fan and an advocate of it's an option. And I love what he does. And I think it gives you a little bit of spread. I think Carlton would like him particularly as well. I think a lot of teams will like him. And I think because the top 4 is kind of, well, the top 5, if you count Ashcroft, is sewn on. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pick. I'd say 2 out of them 5 will get it wrong. And for me, Cam Mackenzie, I think, is by far and above the safest guy there in that draft. Someone that I am a huge, huge advocate of. And I really hope to see him go somewhere that players are going to use him, because he's an absolute incredible, incredible talent. Up next, then, we've got Lachlan Cowan. Look at the lid on it. What a hairstyle. You know I'm a sucker for a high halfback that's got a bit of a turn of a pace. And this Tasmanian Devil boy has been someone that has really, really, really excited. One of the highest efficiencies in the draft, 80%. And he has been incredible, incredible. His ability as well to really stand out has shone, because his AFL rating points are with starters and Ashcroft. That is very rare. And he's someone that isn't talked about. His line breaking speed is absolutely frightening. His matchups one-on-one, they are super, super strong. He's in the leadership group at Tassie. He's got a huge long bomb on him. He loves to break them lines, loves to play them 1-2, highly versatile. Like I say, strong one-on-one, strong on the deck, can also look pretty good in the air as well. He's got a real good eye for the intercept, the modern day halfback. And when this game is purely based on transition, the top teams transition well. Lachlan Cowan is someone that teams are going to fall over. And if you want my Smoky for maybe taking out the rising star, this guy here, because he stands out. He's going to really catch the eye very quickly. He'll go somewhere 15 to 25, and I think there's a lot. I think if you draw a line from 15 to about 30, I think every team would want him. There's Carlton's not included on this, but I could see a great argument if he slips. Carlton look at him, because they've talked about Doc going on the ball. They've talked about swinging some. This guy here has got something about him. Eagles would definitely love a little bit of line breaking power, in my opinion. So would Sydney. I think Sydney, this is the kind of Sydney pickup, isn't it? You know, where they just get that Smoky in the draft. They turn him into the best. Hawks, I think, definitely lacks speed down the back half of the ground. And I think that's the next logical thing. And I could see Collingwood as well. Collingwood would love him as well, particularly. But this kid here is so incredibly special. He has got a lot of skill sets that, you know, you're looking today. And when you look at what he did, he was 3rd this year in the NAB League for intercept possessions, 8 per game. That is elite. His ability as well for the 5.4 score involvements, going with that high 80%, is incredible. The NAG League, 8 intercepts, 8 rebound 50s, high kicking as well, 20.3 kicks per game. An absolute jet. An absolute jet. And his ability to hit up targets is crazy. For me, this guy here is someone that you should really look at because he could be that guy that breaks the stranglehold on the rising star. Up next, we've got Jacob Konstanty from, again, Gippsland Power. The small 176 centimetre, 70 keg forward who can play in the midfield. Absolute sensational, this kid is here. This kid is very, very industrious. His high levels of volume of output are very impressive and something that AFL clubs will definitely catch the eye. He's had a very strong national champs. Do you know what I mean? 1.3 goals, 3 marks, 6 scoring involvements. At the NAB League for the Gippsland, he was very good. 1.2 goals, 6 scoring involvements, 6 tackles. Works incredibly hard, has a massive turn of pace and a real hunger for the defensive side of it. He's got very, very big bag of tricks as well. He's very hard to pin down, but he really does convert goals, but also puts that pressure on, which is definitely the way the modern day Smalls are going. He's creative as well. If anyone gets the chance, do you know what I mean? In that recent championship game in the final, do you know what I mean? His mindset is incredible. He nutmegged one of the key defenders. Do you know what I mean? He just bounced it between their legs. He's got vision and he's a guy that can change the game. And this is a real game changer. And Konstanty is someone that I don't think is getting enough love in the media. He'll go somewhere in that second round, without a shadow of a doubt, probably early. And I think he suits Essendon. I think Essendon would love someone like this. GWS, I could definitely see them adding that with them losing Bobby Hill. And he'd be a replacement for Tipper Woody very quickly as well for Essendon. Hawks, I think Hawks lack this type of superstar to go with Dylan Moore. And I think he'd be good. And also my team, I could really see this being a point of difference for Carlton. I think pairing someone like this with Jesse Motlop is absolutely fire with Durden's defensive craft. So Konstanty is someone that I want you all to take a look for. This kid here has got something about him and definitely someone that I feel is not getting the love from the media. Up next, we've got Adam Deloya from the Eagles in South Australia. And this guy is someone who has really, really slipped down and surprises me because Jason Horne-Francis was a guy that was really billed as the next big thing. People were losing their minds about him. You know, I was never the hugest fan, but this guy here has definitely proven over the last 24 months that he's up there in his output. Obviously, Jason Horne-Francis has less deficiencies, but there is something about this guy. He's contested his clearance work, his ability to be clean, his tough tackling, his 186, 86 keg frame really stands out. Now, he's a guy that has been slipping, and that's because everyone's concerned about his athleticism and his speed. Do you know what I mean? All that nonsense. But this is modern day AFL where people think speed is some kind of magical thing. And he's so quick in thinking. His IQ is exceptional. His pressure kicking is probably a big thing, and he has got a tendency to bomb it on the boot. We're not going to escape that. But where we're going to be talking about this kid picks up is absolutely insane. And when you look at his national champs, 24 touches, 14 contested, 7 tackles. In the under-18s, 8 clearances, 31, 16 touches that are contested. That is absolutely animal-esque. This is the kind of guy that gets the ball out to allow your top players to play. This is what he is. He's going to be a workhorse in the AFL. He's going to be that grunty guy that doesn't get the love, but without him, you notice him. And I love Adam. I'm a big fan. Let's have a look where he may go. He's going to go about 30, 40, right? Collingwood, I can see using him. I definitely can straight away. I think with their young core, they bring another one in. He can learn off Taylor Adams, who I think he needs to model his game on and show how that toughness can translate. He'd be working with Pendlebury as well, who's incredible at thinking quick and really making himself look faster. Port and Adelaide, South Australia, and they have that policy. It would make sense for them. Both of them could definitely utilise a player like this. And you know, someone else I'm thinking at sneaky with learning is Mr. Hawthorn himself, Sam Mitchell. I think Sam Mitchell would love to have a taste of this guy and love to get his hands on him because I think that he'd love to build that. And he's lost Jaeger. I could see this guy being an upgrade on Jaeger, particularly an upgrade on Jaeger and really suiting the system. So he's one that I want you all to watch out for. And finally, Jed Hagan from the East Fremantle Sharks. This kid here is, there's something about him. He's a small forward, 175 centimetres, and he's a goal-kicking just machine. He was really impressive against the Collingwood VFL side, and he can really mix it. He has taken the waffle by, really, people have noticed him averaging a goal a game, 5 scoring involvements, and even though that size and frame, he is an out-and-out goal kicker, someone that can really do it. At National Championships, 1.3 goals, 17 touches, can work high up the ground, particularly around stoppages on the ball. He's a bit deadly. In the under-18s, he's shone this year as well. 6 clearances, 9 tackles, 17 kicks, 24 touches. I really like this kid, and someone that I think people are sleeping on. Incredibly high footy IQ. He likes to play them short passes as well. Very hard work rate, and he can change a game. He can change a game. I think his output is incredible, and he has a lot of skills that if you're a recruiter, you can back your development team into to really do it. He's just got that natural eye. He's got a natural class, and someone that I think is very exciting. 35 to 45, he'll go late second round, maybe early third, and I think there's a host of teams that would really like a Jed Hagan at their club. Gold Coast Suns spring to mind. He's the type of player that I think can slot in and play early doors for them. North, definitely see them there as well. Fremantle, I think Fremantle will definitely have an eye on him, even West Coast to the latter extent. And Carlton, I could see Carlton definitely taking him, with a very late pick if he's there, and maybe having a sniff if he just slip outside that. But this is a guy here that can definitely really complement your forward line, particularly when you look at a lot of the forward lines there. He's a good user of the ball, like I say, and he works hard all day. I think he is so well-rounded that I think people look at the size, and AFL is quite archaic in the way that they do this. There is some kind of things that knock you. Size doesn't matter when you're like this. This kid's IQ, his vision, often when you watch him playing the waffle as well, he's in the pocket and he looks up and he hits someone in the goal square. He's very accurate and very savvy. I'm a big fan of this. Very strong on the deck. Definitely someone, if your team is looking for a small forward who can pinch it, Jed Hagan's your man, and someone that's not getting enough love. They're my 5 then. Let me know in the comments your 5. Or have I picked some of your 5 as well? Is there someone that you're sleeping on? Is there someone that you know, or someone that you're a big fan of? Let me know in the comments. And until next time, pop out.